Alrighty. And then boom, just like that, we are live. Okay, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to a special edition of Off the Record, the People's Podcast. This afternoon, we have a great couple on with us, Brother Taqee and Sister Ameenah. First of all, assalamu alaikum, y'all.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, we want to just thank y'all for taking time out of y'all busy schedule to come have a conversation with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
No problem. Walaikum salam, Mimi. My sister Miriam says the greetings. Okay, we want to know, the first question is, who made the first move? Who chose on who first?
I did. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? You already know. Well, I saw Ameenah at Savers Day 2000 and what was that, 12 or 11?
It might have been.
It was 2012. It was a while ago, so I mixed up 2012. And I waited for a minute. I was kind of just following her on social media, and then, of course, hit her up on Twitter, like, assalamu alaikum, want to, enter a courtship, of course, so.
Yeah.
We ended up talking through Twitter for a minute, and then I reached out, and yeah, she accepted.
Okay, so Sister Ameenah, what made you accept his DM?
I guess his approach, like, he wasn't inappropriate or anything like that. So it was just his approach, okay. Mostly. And of course, I mean, he was good looking, so that was the plus. Yeah.
Okay. Shallow.
Raymond Gilliard says peace, Raymond Gilliard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My next question is, what was your first date like?
Our first date, man, that was so long ago. So I came to New York for her birthday, 2013.
Yeah.
It was when it was when Holy Day was in our city.
I was turning 19?
Yeah, you were turning 19.
19.
And I came to New York, and we just went all over New York. I think we went to go get something to eat from this pizza spot in
Union
Harlem.
Square.
Yeah, Union Square. No, that was downtown. Yeah, Union Square.
Yeah.
It's like somewhere that we still go when we go to New York. And we will go there all the time. But yeah, it was chill. It was pretty chill. Yeah, it was pretty chill.
And he met my dad and then ran down the street.
Yeah. Please explain. Please do tell the story.
I escorted her home, and I was supposed to like meet her dad because her dad was like waiting on me to meet him. So I walked her from the train to the gate. And like right before her dad came out, I just like took off. I was like, I couldn't do it. I was too nervous.
My dad was like, "Where did he go?"
Yeah.
Like, he went down the street. He was nervous.
Okay, so how did you come back from running away from her father?
So eventually I moved. So that was just visiting. So when I decided to, officially move to New York to like finish the courtship process, because I was going to school out there anyways. I went to Rutgers in New Jersey. So when I decided to go and start school out there, I eventually just had to kind of like, just be like, all right, I'm a meet her dad. I was still extremely nervous. I had like a whole portfolio. Her mom.
Oh my God, I forgot about.
Her mom set up a meeting at Starbucks to like meet her dad and like explain who I was and stuff like that.
He literally brought a portfolio.
Yeah, I brought a whole portfolio.
Ever.
Yeah, I brought a portfolio where I was like flipping through and things like that. But then he was real cool.
Yeah, my dad is real. He looks mean, but he's real.
He's real chill,
laid back.
Real chill, bro. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And Brother Taqee, how did your parents feel about Sister Ameenah?
Oh, my parents are very like bubbly. Well, her parents are bubbly too, but like my parents are like the type of like when you first time you meet them, they're like really
welcoming.
Like super welcoming. So like my dad and mom and everybody were just. My mom, from the first moment I said I was, talking to a sister, my mom was just extremely excited. That's just how she is.
Yeah.
So my mom was a little bit too excited, like embarrassingly excited. But so my mom was like DMing her and like talking to her, like
Yeah, it was just, she was really
so
excited.
So by the time they actually met, they were already cool. But my dad was just asking a lot of questions and just trying to like
Well, no, he did that when we were engaged, though. When I came here,
yeah, that's true.
I came here for it was like around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we were already engaged.
Yeah, we were already engaged, and he was asking me a whole bunch of questions, and I did pretty well.
Yeah, my dad is like in the cut, so like he didn't.
Oh, he was like there and then
Day?
not there. No, I didn't see him Savior's Day.
Okay, yeah. So my dad kind of like is in the background when it comes to like relationship stuff. And then, with me personally, he's one-on-one, but like he didn't really even, I think, like meet you like that until.
No, he didn't. I just met his mom and his sisters.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you met my grandmother and stuff.
Yeah, and your grandma, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. My sister Mimi says that bro was so scared. He was scared. Someone you ready? Naima says, alaikum salam. Okay, my next question is, you said, who said I love you first?
I did. Technically, yeah, I did.
And why did you say I love you first, Sister Ameenah?
It was.
I know why.
Shut up. It was because we just instantly clicked, and we had so much in common that it was just kind of like unreal. Like I was just blown away. Like, how do we have this much in common, and how do we both sing and we both want the same things? It's like it just didn't seem real to me. Like I thought that I was like, it's like a dream. Like pinch me. What is going on? So it was just like that. I felt very safe with him, and I guess that's why I said I love you first.
Yeah, and I was alluding to it. I actually remember the day I was alluding to it because I kept saying like, yeah, I like you so much. Like I wanted to say it, I was just scared to say it. So I was basically like saying,
let me say it first.
I was saying everything that you could possibly say to not say I love you. I'm like, I like you so much. Like I just like you. And she was like
I love your personality.
Yeah,
I love everything about you.
I love everything about you.
I love you.
I love everything about you. She was like, I love you. And I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, I love
exactly.
You.
That's how it happened.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how was the proposal? Let's start with you, Taqee. How did you propose?
So I said, come on, let's meet up. We're gonna meet up. It's like this waterfront area, like
it was by the Hudson.
The Hudson River, yeah. It's like this long strip of like where the water is, and so I'm not from New York, so like I'm explaining it kind of weird, but so
it's
the
like
Hudson
a pier,
River,
like
a pier almost. So I said, come on, let's just meet up. We could just walk, like take a long walk, and then go and stop and get something to eat. And then I just wanted to talk to you about stuff. She kind of already knew that it was around that time to where I was going to probably.
I knew that you wanted to propose.
Yeah,
but
she knew
really
I wanted to propose because I was like, asking her what kind of ring she liked and things like that.
Yeah.
So like, she didn't know exactly when. She didn't even know I was about to do it anytime soon. She just knew I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But so like I just said, come on, let's meet up, let's talk. And I had the ring in my pocket the whole time. Mm-hmm. And as we're like walking and stuff, I took her to the spot, and I was like, and I was just telling her stuff. And then this girl, she says,
No. Well, you were. No, well, he was like we were talking, like we were walking and talking. So he was walking. Like asking me stuff, and I was just like,
I was asking her stuff. I was like basically throwing her off, like kind of making it seem like if I was to propose, it wouldn't be soon. I was like, I gotta get some things together and do this.
Okay.
I might have to move back to Detroit and do this.
Yeah.
And so we walked onto like this part,
like the end of the pier, like
the end of the pier, right where like we're in the water almost, like, but it's like we're on the
like where they have like the binoculars where you can
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So this girl. I was talking, and she's like, wait. She was like, you know what would be crazy? She's like, this would be the perfect spot to propose. She's like, if you were to propose, you should take me back here. Like, this is a nice spot.
Yeah, the water, the whole scenery.
Yeah, she's just talking. She's like,
I'm talking my head
She's
off.
like, this would be a perfect spot to propose, and I'm just in my head like, shut up, because this is exactly what I'm about to do.
So then you sat me down.
I sat her down, and then I was like, yeah, you said this would be a perfect spot to propose. I started talking to her, and then I took the ring out, and she's like, then
I was like in shock, like what? You tricked me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. 19 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. My next question is: once you propose, how did you all's families? Once you all got married, how did your families blend with each other?
Pretty well.
Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, we all get along. So it's like
we all.
It wasn't ever really an issue. What really was the issue was in the beginning. No, in the beginning before you proposed to me, like when everybody was thinking like you guys are too young, you should wait.
That's
this and that, and it was just like we know what we want.
Yeah.
And we were like, we were just ready.
Yeah, because I was
to be
18,
on this journey.
I was 18, and yeah,
yeah.
we were both 18. Well, no, you had just turned 19. I was about to turn 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were young. I think I had just turned 20, or I was 19, and you had just turned 20 when we got married.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think what really sealed the deal was him proposing, because it was like, okay, he's serious. He got a ring.
Yeah,
So then I was a little scared to tell my mom at first when he had proposed. And I was kind of scared to tell my dad, because it's like, me and my dad are so close. So I was like, what is he gonna think? Like, does he like him? Like, or is he just putting on this front for me? But he really liked Taqee. Like, he really saw something in him. And actually, Taqee has a lot in common with my dad. That's probably why I liked him so much. But so I was like really scared to tell them. But then once I had the courage to tell them, they were so excited. Like, oh my God, like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And just.
Yeah, my parents were shocked too. Like, everybody was shocked. My friends, my family and stuff like that were kind of like.
Because we were so young.
We were so young. And the fact that I actually like went out at 19 years old, like went to K Jewelers and bought a wedding ring. They were like,
I could have bought, this brother's serious.
Yeah, like I could have bought them shoes. I could have did anything, you know what I'm saying? I decided to like invest in something that was serious, it made people take us seriously.
Okay, excellent. Well, Sister Ameenah, how did you know that Brother Taqee was the one?
I knew that's a pretty easy question. An easy question to answer. I knew he was the one because of, first and foremost, his love for Islam and for Allah, and also he was just the type of person that, like, once he puts his mind to something, he just goes after it, which was what he did with me. So I knew, like, that he was very serious about me. Like, I knew he wasn't trying to play any games, and he wasn't ever, like, inappropriate. Like, it was always about, we're getting married, have a family, build, an empire together. So that was always, like, we always wanted to go, down the same road and on this same journey together. So I think that's what really made me know that he was the one. Yeah.
Okay, and Brother Taqee, how did you know that Sister Ameenah was the one?
How did I know she was the one?
Why did you have to repeat
she was fine. No, I'm just joking. No, I was like I don't want to sound like a weirdo, but I was like studying her like from a distance on Twitter and things like that, like the things she would say, the things she would post. And I kind of was like, Twitter, social media and stuff like that, it gives you a chance to like kind of study people's mind, what they're, the things that they think about, the things that they like.
Especially on Twitter.
On Twitter, when you're not there in person. So like I was kind of studying that, and I was saying that the way she thought, like her thinking process was similar to, I won't even say similar, but it was a thinking process that I could see myself, being with. You know what I'm saying? And she was the type of woman that I could see like myself, raising a family with and building something with. So, and I didn't know she was the one until, of course, we started to court, and then I realized how feminine she was. Like I'm a big, what is it? Avid, I don't know the word, but femininity is very important to me. You know what I'm saying? So femininity, but strength at the same time. And she shared all those characteristics. So she was feminine, she was strong, she was smart, like all the characteristics that I was taught that a woman should be, through my mother and through, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. She shared, I won't say she's perfect. None of us are perfect, but she was so close to all of the characteristics at such a young age that I knew that progress, will only make it, better. That's why I made the decision and investment. So.
Excellent. And Brother Sherwin says Black love at its best. So I'm looking for Sherwin. Always holding it down. Okay. Yes, sir. My next question is, I'll start with you, Brother Taqee. What has been your greatest trial and how did you overcome it?
My greatest trial would be, we've been through so many trials in the beginning, but I would say my greatest trial is even though we're married, co-parenting. I know that's the word when like you're divorced. But like co-parenting sometimes is a trial. Like most of our arguments, the crazy thing is we're not even trying to sound like all perfect and stuff like that, but we don't even get into arguments like that unless it's about the children. Like I might, say something like, oh, he's sick, he needs this, and she might say no, he doesn't need, like it's things like that. Like between the children, we have our own like ways of dealing with things and stuff like that. And then she might get offended or I might get offended. That's like really our only dispute and trial on how to deal with disagreeing with things that are important and not like blowing a small issue out of proportion. Because that was our big trial in the beginning. We would blow little stupid things out of proportion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're both very emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. You know, we're both very emotional.
Yeah, that's
people,
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, and Sister Ameenah, what has been your greatest trial? How did you overcome it?
Ooh. I would say, really just like pregnancy, like just becoming a mom and like learning how to balance being a wife and being a mother. And also, I had to get a surgery, not too long ago. And I think that was probably like the worst
like
for
the
me.
breast milk because she was breastfeeding.
Yeah. So that was like really hard for me. And like, just like, I don't know, I guess I was feeling like I was just kind of emotionally off at that time because I was, you know, postpartum. And then on top of that, the surgery and then like just dealing with a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just really hard for me. So I felt like I was like really like needy and just like hormonal, I guess. So I think that was probably like the biggest trial for me, like just dealing with that and also like being present for him and trying not to get, I guess, wrapped up in my own head about that. So I guess that was probably
I would say I have one more trial too.
Okay.
One more trial because they're like equal to that. They're like equal to the baby. The other trial is like friendship, like who you become friends with. So like since I got married, it's like, okay, so my wife is from New York. We're in Detroit. You know, a lot of her friends are in New York. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I still had a life, like, you know, friends and things like that here. And she didn't really know anybody here. Of course, now she knows sisters and stuff like that here now, but it took her a minute because she was pregnant, had the baby, and then another baby. So it's like, you know, a lot of times I didn't know, and that's actually, this is the biggest trial. Actually.
Yeah.
The biggest trial when we first got married, and this is for a lot of the brothers that, you know, like have wives that are not from the city or wives that are pregnant at home. You know, I didn't notice that I was neglecting the attention that she needed when she was pregnant. Cause like I would be gone, you know, let's say I had to go on a detail and I would be gone all night, and then I would go with my friends, you know, some of the brothers, we would go somewhere, you know, go out to eat or something like that. And I'm not thinking like I'm not single, you know, anymore. Like I can't go and be out, you know, all night or whatever. Like even if it is with brothers, I still can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that. And that was like, you know, that was a big trial, and I didn't realize that until like she like went off on me and said something that was funny, but it actually made me think. She was like, you're not damn 17 anymore. She was like, you can't just like. I was like, we were out, and I was out with my friends, and it was like super late. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I didn't feel like driving home or whatever the scenario was. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay over the brother's house. You know, he didn't have a wife and nothing like that. I'm gonna stay over his house. And my wife was like, no, you're not. What are you talking about? I was like, and she texted me like, you're not 17. You can't just spend a night at somebody's house. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? She's right. And I just drove home. Yeah, I was tripping, but that was a minute ago. So.
That was probably, that definitely.
Yeah, that was the biggest trial, like trying to like balance being young and I think being also, married. Yeah.
And I think also like the fact that we have so many ideas and like big things that we want to do, and like kind of like trying to pick the right time to like invest. That's been probably our biggest trial, one of the biggest trials for us, because we want to do so much, and it's like, you know, you got to plan for stuff like that.
Make a smart investment.
Exactly.
But that's okay.
Beautiful. Okay, my Jacquees Muhammad says blessings. Mimi says thank you both for sharing and being so transparent. Brother Alton says excellent. My next question is for Taqee. What has been your greatest joy since you've been married?
Oh, my greatest joy is being married. I love being married because having a wife is such a balancing thing. It's really a help me thing. Like there's so many trials, personal trials that I go through, you know, when it comes to business. Like I help run my family's business, and then I have a business of my own. So like sometimes I'm extremely stressed out and I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, this is just too stressful. Like to the point where I just want to like just run somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to like punch the holes in the wall, you know. And I'll come home to my wife, and, you know, and she would not saying I come home to my wife and start crying or nothing like that, but I would come to her and just, you know,
confide.
like not I wouldn't even say confide, but I would just let her know what I'm going to do. Yeah, confiding, I guess. And she will, you know, let me know, like, you know, we could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can do it. It's not going to be that big of a problem, and, you know, we can handle it and stuff like that. But that's one of the biggest necessary things that brings me joy. Another thing, being married is having children and having a wife, not having to, like, I still want to impress my wife, of course, like that, but I don't have to, like, lie. And you know, when you out trying to have a girlfriend and stuff like that, you got to cover some things up. You might have to say few white lies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you running out of gas, but you don't tell her that you're about to run out of gas. Like, you know,
yeah. Like, I'm familiar.
You know, I don't have to do none of that fronting or nothing like that. You know, I could just be straight up, and I'm still appreciated and loved for being myself at my lowest points, at my highest points. You know what I'm saying? Then I have somebody that can strengthen me through my lowest points rather than leave me, you know, if we get into an argument. Like, you know, we're married, so we're going to get through it.
Praise be. So that's beautiful. Okay, so Ameenah, what has been your greatest joy since being married?
I think it's just the whole thing in general, like just everything, just because I've always had this dream since I was younger. So like I've always wanted to be a wife and be a mother. And I think it's just everything about it. And I agree with everything that he said, like just knowing that like he's my best friend and we'll go through, you know, our ups and downs and stuff. And no matter what, like no matter what arguments we have and what we say and, you know, what goes on, we know that we're family at the end of the day. And we're going to always have each other's back no matter what. And I think that that's been my greatest joy. And of course, our children, like that's been our
like the number
joy.
one joy
too. Yeah. The children, just watching them grow and learn. And that's been my greatest joy. And watching him with them, of course, too, like, you know, the type of father he is and watching his, you know, his father and his mom with the babies and stuff like that. That's been really
okay. Excellent. What do you do for fun, Brother Taqee? Individually, and then what do you do for fun with your wife?
Okay, so like for fun, for fun. Let me see, for fun, because I work so much. For fun. So I would say what I like to do for fun. What I like to do for fun is, man, truthfully, I like to do a lot of stuff. Like, of course, I like to play basketball, football, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. I like to work out. I like to draw. I'm an artist, so I draw. I'm a fashion designer, so I draw.
Okay, that's beautiful.
I sing. I do a lot of stuff. I have a lot of talents that Allah blessed me with to where I can use them for fun. But the thing I like to do the most for fun, I like to plan events. Yeah, like I like to like I like cultural development. So like I like meeting with people and coming up with ideas, like to, like, you know, buy land and let's, like, you know, turn this into something. Let's create a, you know, I like doing that type of stuff. Like that's what gets me like high, is that those type of like meetings where, like, you know, development. Like I love development. That's what my family is into. That's what my father is into, is development. That's the type of things I like to do for fun. But of course, like physical fun, yeah, I would say, I mean, shoot, I would just say that. I mean, everything else is like secondary to that. That's the thing I like to do the most, you know? So is urban planning and like urban development.
Excellent.
Stuff like that. It was a two-part question.
Oh, right. I like to write and of course like read and do things with the children and
froze. The camera froze.
Oh, it froze?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what happened.
Can you still hear us? I think it froze.
Yeah, it froze. Maybe we should.
Uh-oh.
We would do that.
Hold on, stop the video again.
Yeah, you're. Start back. I think it's is messing up on his end.
Can you hear us, bro?
Just
Yeah.